Welcome to Greece, everyone. Oh, we made it. Well done, guys. Welcome back to the channel. I have traded the land of a rising sun for the so-called cradle of Western civilization. I have swapped the neon-lit glow of Tokyo for the ancient wisdom of Athens. Welcome to the iconic capital city of Greece. Are you going to join me? Before we explore more of this iconic city, just my usual plea, everyone. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons, share this video with friends and family, leave a comment for me in the comment section. It's all free to do and it really helps me out. I am here in Monastiraki, which is a famous flea market area here in Athens, and the square itself is also a hub of activity. You can see on top there, that's the Acropolis. People won't necessarily tell you this at tourist information offices, but the best view of the Acropolis is here at Monastiraki. Check that out. And of course the Acropolis refers to the hill over there. It's sometimes mistakenly used to refer to the Parthenon, which is just one building on the Acropolis. There you can see many people enjoying the city. I presume they are part of a tour group. Of course, they probably paid some money for the tour, but here on Vili Explore you'll get a free view, a free tour. The plan for today, well, there's not much of a plan. I am keen to take things easy and just to stroll around this iconic city. Lively musical atmosphere here as well. And of course there are lots of ruins across the city. Athens famous for it. A big queue of people here, but you can see here we are at the Library of Hadrian. You can read most of that in your own time. Just to cherry pick some information there, the building was erected in 132 to 134 AD by Emperor Hadrian. It follows the Roman Forum architectural style. And yes, it's paid to get in, but we get a lovely view here from the outside. There are lots of these ruins, of course, across the city. Athens is one of the most ancient cities in the world, with a documented history that spans more than 3,400 years. And in classical times, this was one of the most powerful and influential city-states on the planet. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
This is a vegan sweet.
Vegan sweet?
Yes.
Okay.
Vegetarian, vegan sweet.
Let me just hold it there. Let's try it.
You coming from Germany?
No, South Africa, sir.
South Africa?
Yeah, this is very nice, but I suspect he's going to try and sell something to me. Just have to play the game. Yes, an abundance of souvenirs in Greece. Hats and sunglasses. Yeah, they've got these ominous shaped bottle openers. Look at that. Some natural sea sponge as well. I noticed several evil eyes for sale. Ah, check there, some eye bags. Check there, Pythagoras, Medusa, Poseidon. You also have Achilles, Hercules. And let's not forget the king of gods, Zeus. And of course the cats who rule the city. Hello there. Kalimera. Athens is of course sometimes referred to as the birthplace of democracy, and Greece is well known for philosophers such as Socrates, Plato and Aristotle. Those three of course had close ties here to Athens. Yes, hiding from all the tourists and the flow of people. I believe that in 2021 there were about 3.6 million people in the city. I was actually quite surprised to read that, because in some ways the city feels a lot bigger. And the other thing that surprised me is that Greece in total only has about 10 million people. Of course there's a large Greek diaspora living abroad, so maybe 10 million is an understated figure for the number of Greeks in the world. Yes, many tourists in Greece, and here in the city today but many people simply use Athens as a departure point for other areas in Greece. Thinking of places such as the Greek islands, and indeed my plan is also to visit some islands, but Athens itself has a lot to see. You can see we are here at the archaeological site of Roman Agora, and you can see the classical architecture there, the columns. There's going to be another ticket office or ticket entrance somewhere here, but again, as is the case with many of the other sites, it's free to look at it from the outside. I think a good plan could be to walk in that direction. As we walk towards the Acropolis, let me tell you a little bit more about Athens as an Olympic city. They hosted the Olympics in 2004, and of course this is where the modern Olympics started as well, in 1896, following the initiative of Pierre de Coubertin. I have a bit of a bone to pick with Athens for that 2004 Olympics as a South African, because Cape Town was also in the race, and it was heartbreaking when we lost out. And I often wonder what Cape Town would have looked like today if we had the Olympics that year. But nonetheless, Athens, you beat us to it. Well done. Right, a case of eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Do we go up here or do we go left? I suppose many people come from here, so that's a good sign. We can always explore the other part later. Just more on the Olympics of 2004. I know that before the games there were a lot of concerns in the city about whether or not they would be ready to host it. They had to pump a lot of money into things like infrastructure, and there were real concerns that they may not be able to cope with the influx of people. But they did it. And today, 21 years after the games, gosh, let me just say that once more, 21 years after the games, that is terrifying. Anyways, the city of course benefits from that investment in infrastructure and transport, but I still prefer to walk around cities. This is a lovely area just to come and walk here in Athens. You've got the Acropolis there on top, and I believe a Plaka area is not far from here, maybe in that direction. So a little bit spoiled for choice. And let's not forget the cherry on the cake, the view. Unbelievable. Look at the natural beauty in the back, the urban sprawl. It is magnificent to be up here. You don't always have to go into museums or pay an entry fee to experience something magical. The best things, in fact, usually are for free, such as walking around. There's the Greek flag. The Greeks, of course, a very patriotic nation, very proud of their country. There's the Acropolis, the hill. An old site here, the Church of a Metamorphosis. Yeah, shut here. You can see the north and south slope of the Acropolis. They've got a layout for us there. It's too tiny to read, unfortunately. But there you go. One of the most iconic hills in the world. The origins of the name Athens is actually quite fascinating. According to legend, Athena and Poseidon competed for the title of patron of a new unnamed city, and the Athenians would decide the winner based on which of those two would give him the best gift. The king of Athens served as the judge in that contest, and according to one account of the story, the mighty Poseidon struck the ground with his trident, and it caused the saltwater spring or seawater to emerge, symbolizing his control over the sea. Athena, however, she offered the domesticated olive tree, which was considered the more valuable gift because it was life-sustaining and it symbolized peace, prosperity and agriculture. This gift, unlike Poseidon's, would prove beneficial to the city in the long run. So Athena won, and the city was named Athens. Now I know there are other versions, but that one is quite popular. Maybe our friend over here knows of a different account. Hello, Kalimera. Look quite sleepy, huh? Wow, cat doing tricks there with her birds. Trying to catch them. I wonder how many cats there are in the city. Hello. Oh, you look friendly. Come here. Nah, second thoughts. Yeah, I've got absolutely no plan for the day. I am just walking to take in the atmosphere. After a reasonably long trip in Japan, it's nice to just take things easy. And here you can really get a magnificent view of a city. I can't believe there's just 3.6 million people. I mean, if you look at this view, it feels like there are a lot more people in the city. But yes, population of Greece 10 million, maybe closer to 10.5 million. It still feels very small. Right, let's see what we've got here. I'd imagine another beautiful view. Oh yes. Just look at that. Look how far you can see the urban sprawl there. Yoch. Now you really have a beautiful view. Look at the Mediterranean architecture as well. And you can see various churches, places of prayer. Yeah, we are just drifting here next to the Acropolis. And there are some very interesting residences as well. Just look at the stairs there. How Greek is that? And the plants on the roof. And a bit of blue here on the white. I can just see the Greeks in summer sitting there, having a glass of ouzo, enjoying this magnificent view. Wow. Looks like some people have got a bit creative with a cactus here. Writing some messages in there. Oh dear. Anyways, some people I guess looking for a bit of attention. I can see A and E, what are these names? Yeah, I guess it's the Athens version of the love locks. They don't have a love locks here, so they write their names on cactuses. Or cacti. Okay, it looks like this is going down rather than more up, but just another shot there of the Acropolis hill. There's a Greek flag again. Let's just see what our options are here. I guess lots of beautiful views. Shall I go down here, or shall I go back up and go to Plaka in another direction? Don't know, maybe we can ask for some directions over here. But again, this gives you insights into the Greek lifestyle. Love small spaces, but they make it as communal as they can. I'm gonna go back up here and go to the Plaka area, a famous neighborhood here in the city, and afterwards we can maybe go to some of the shopping areas. I mean, I can take a look at my map, but to be honest, it's more exciting just getting lost, as I always say. Let's see what we can find. More beautiful flowers. Of course, it's spring here in the Mediterranean. In summer, this will look even better. What is this? The old university, House of Cleanthus. Here is the seat of the first university of the independent Greek state from 1837 to 1841. This building was formerly the home of the architect Stamatios Cleanthus, who remodeled the already existing structure. Oh, how interesting. So, a cradle of education here in the city. And my Greek is very non-existent, but I do love the alphabet, the writing. Here we go, some directions to Roman Agora and Plaka. That's the district that I want to get to. So let's go through here. That is, of course, if the cats will allow us to pass. In Tokyo, it was all about the green man and the red man. They decided where you go. But here in Athens, the cats, they've got the final say. I think him going in there, that's a queue for me to pass. Yeah, this is classic Athens, isn't it? These little alleys away from the hustle and bustle. This is perfect to stroll in because you can get an idea of how people in the city live. Interesting doors, and you will see a lot of Greek flags across the city because they are very patriotic. They are very proud of their history, their culture, their country in general. And here we go, officially welcome to Plaka. This area here. Ah, this is lovely. Lovely to stroll around. Look at the streets. Yeah, you see the odd motorcycle here, but no motorcycle noise, at least not yet. Lots of churches in the neighborhoods as well. You can see they're all in Greek though. And I really don't like the graffiti around here, I have to say. That is unfortunate. But I will take the cleanliness of this part of town. Yes, lots of restaurants. The Greeks, they love a coffee, they love a meal, they love a communal vibe. Yeah, but there's some people getting ready for big business. They are moving an entire kitchen by the looks of it. And some more buildings with character here. Look again, the plants there on top. Welcome to Greece, everyone. Oh, we made it. Well done, guys. Oh, arrived in an area here with a really nice bohemian atmosphere almost. Look at all the beautiful plants. Beautiful lights and balconies there with some detail. Modern Athenians, much like their ancient ancestors, are fiercely proud of their independence and identity. They maintain a strong cultural connection to the historical roots. And yes, they've had some challenges in recent decades, including the financial crisis, the sovereign debt crisis. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But like many Greeks, Athenians, they tend to have a strong sense of community and family. They value social connection, and they often gather in cafes, restaurants and public spaces to enjoy some food and conversation. So they are not just tourists frequenting these places, but also many locals, many Athenians. If you've ever watched the movies My Big Fat Greek Wedding and the sequel, you will know what I'm talking about. The Greeks, they really do value social connection. Those movies showcase that larger than life Greek family vibe, where everyone is in everyone's business, but with tons of warmth, humor and a shared love for food and fun. And on the philosophical side, there is a stereotype about Athenians being thoughtful and philosophical. They often engage in deep discussions about life, politics and society. They're not superficial people. In many ways that reflects the historical legacy of thinkers such as Socrates and Plato. And modern Athenians, they can also sometimes be seen as laid back, or maybe even nonchalant in their casual approach to time and work. Yeah, this is a lovely neighborhood to come and stroll in. I can't actually remember if I was here in 2008 on my previous visit, but nonetheless. Now, on a personal level, I didn't share the story earlier, where I probably should have, but I would have gotten just too emotional. Greece holds a very special place for me because in many ways this is the one country that inspired me to travel the world. And it inspired me to travel through my mother. When I was in high school or secondary school in South Africa, my mother worked for a tour company. She would do a lot of the admin and she would also go on the tours as a tour guide. The first country she visited was Greece, and she's been to this country on a number of occasions, and she would always have wonderful stories about her trips. She would make albums with photos, and no, we didn't have cell phones in those days. Taking a photo was a big deal. I would look at her photo albums from Greece and listen to her stories and it would inspire me to also one day go and see the world. So I want to say thank you, Mum, for all you've done for me. And Greece was always her favorite country. So Greece as the country that inspired me to go and travel. So anyways, a bit of a personal touch there. My love for traveling through my mother. By the way, we have now properly hit the tourist trail with all the souvenir shops. Look at all the shirts, all the clothes, all the fridge magnets, all the wooden artifacts, pens and various kitchenware. Yes. We've also hit the motorcycles in the streets that I referred to earlier. Looks like some exclusive clothing shops as well, jewelry shops, carpets, football shirts of course. Oh, this is interesting, some glass windows here. Oh wow, the oldest house of Athens, my goodness. So this must be very old. Look at the materials used here. I don't know if this is a reconstruction or not. Yeah, just giving you a shot there through the window. They've obviously restored quite a lot of it inside there, I can see. Yeah, we've definitely started to hit a little bit more traffic, even though we are in a pedestrianised area. Athens, of course, notorious for its traffic. I know things have improved since after the Olympics. If you remember the days pre-Olympics, if you're an Athenian, let me know in the comments. What was it like? Yeah, Hadrian, I think that is the street. Lots of merchandise here. Fair few tourists. And there's some religious scenes there. Religious figures. And we also, of course, have fridge magnets. And there's the cats again, who rule the city. Yeah, I do remember these playing cards that my mum brought from Athens one year. Some things in life never change, like the playing cards in Athens and the traffic, which I'm sure we'll be experiencing in a bit more detail later on. This looks to be a very interesting side of the city. And I've noticed a few of them advertise free shipping. So the usual tourist excuse of, oh, I can't fit this in my hand luggage, this won't work here because they'll ship it for you for free. Ah yes, look at that. In South Africa we call that a ketty. Popular here in Greece as well. And some very colourful outfits. Tourism, undoubtedly a key economic artery in this part of the world. The people of Athens, the people of Greece, they depend on tourism. Many of you might be familiar with the sovereign debt crisis across Greece, which started around 2009, just after the global financial crisis of 2007-2008. Those were very difficult times for Greece and for Athens. It was a major economic event, and I believe it was largely triggered by the high levels of debt and deficits, which in turn led to a loss of investor confidence. Listening to the noise, I think the economy might have recovered at least a little bit. We're just moving away from the noise for a little bit there. Anyways, back on the economic crisis of 2009, I believe that they secured bailout funds from the European Union and the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, but there were some conditions attached to it. Greece had to implement severe austerity measures. Many economic commentators say that many of those policies that they had to implement, such as cuts to public spending and reductions to pensions, that had a big impact, and it was not always positive. In fact, some argue it led to poverty, unemployment, and a loss of income and prosperity. So if you're from Greece, if you remember those times, let me know in the comments. What was it like? Let me know what it's like nowadays. Has the situation improved? What is it like living in Athens, living in Greece in 2025? Of course, Greece gave us democracy, and it also gave us Greek yogurt and Greek frozen yogurt. Yes, ice cream happiness. A plethora of Greek restaurants and establishments in this part of town. Another classic restaurant scene here. Small seats or small cups of coffee. In case you're interested to know what a beer costs in Athens. Looks like around 2.70 for a big draft. Glass of wine, €2. I would say that is pretty good, certainly compared to the UK. Look there, fashions for the whole family, all ages. What do you think of Athens so far? Let me know in the comments. And by the way, if you haven't done it yet, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. That really helps me out. Some beautiful art here. More jewelry. More t-shirts there. These eye t-shirts and eye handbags, very popular. Now that is really riding the historical bandwagon. Hercules shop. Nice little square here. Old water fountain. Look at all the plants here and some monuments here. Don't know if we can go in. There's no one else here and there's a very angry looking cat, so maybe not. Okay, we will just admire it here from the outside. Yeah, if you know who that is, let me know in the comments. Beautiful green windows and cream colored buildings. Some of these buildings that are in a derelict state, but actually have a lot of character. Look at that woman there. And yes, I know Greece, they've had to make some tough decisions with regards to investment. They've had some budget constraints over the years, but actually I would say that a lot of these buildings add a bit of character to the city, especially next to the green spaces. Yes, it's around 2:20, so it's not lunchtime. It's post lunchtime, yet there are many people enjoying a meal. I believe the Greeks are famous for snacking in between meals. They do love a second lunch or a second breakfast. Let me know if that is true, because that is what someone told me. Maybe I'll get a bit of pushback, but I do have a feeling that there's a lot of food sold in this part of the world. I have to say I'm enjoying this walk. It feels a lot different from Tokyo, which was my last trip. If you haven't watched my Japan videos yet, please do go and watch them. It was a bit of a culture shock, but I really enjoyed it. It was my second time in Tokyo, but I also visited Hiroshima and Osaka, and I took some interesting transport. And of course here in Athens, many people, their choice of transport is motorcycle, but you also have buses. Of course, many tour companies here in Greece. Some of the trips you can do here from Athens: Aegina, Hydra, Poros, and Santorini or Mykonos. These books look familiar as well. I think my mum brought some of them from Greece to South Africa. Many, if not most of these flats, they've got balconies, enjoying the Mediterranean climate. Greece is of course a Mediterranean country, and Athens, its capital, is the southernmost capital city on the European mainland. So some people would argue this is the edge of Europe. This is the beginning or the end of Europe. You know you're in a Mediterranean country when you've got air conditioners on the balconies. It can get pretty hot in this part of the world in summer. By the way, I have absolutely no idea where I am at the moment. I am getting properly lost and loving it. Get an idea of the green spaces across the city. And how about this for a sign? You can either come to the bar on the right, or you can choose reality on the left. I think many people will choose the bar. I wonder if you can eat these oranges. Yes, shall I try a cheap snack? When I was in Seville in Spain, they warned you against eating them. They are sprayed with some pesticides there. I'd imagine the same is true here in Athens. Let me know in the comments. Anyways, let's continue our walk. You can see here, this cafe, this restaurant practically built in a forest. Loving it. They're really making use of flora in this part of the city. Oh, and some art as well. Girl with a pearl earring. Modern day Greece might be at the edge of Europe, but many Athenians, I'm sure, will argue that Greece is at the center of the universe, the center of the world at least. And that was certainly, I guess, the view back in classical times. If you know more about the classical times, I suppose you haven't lived there, but you might have read about it. Have you got some favorite tales, favorite stories you want to share with us? What do you think Greece gave to the world? Do you have a favorite Greek god or a Greek goddess? Let me know in the comments. Check this bit of Greek humor. Apartments for people looking for sun, not at the beach. And there you go, Greece is not only the sea. That is right. Many people go to Santorini and Mykonos, Hydra, Aegina. They might forget about Athens and Thessaloniki, other wonderful towns in the country. If you've been to Greece before, let me know what your favorite areas are, your favorite cities, your favorite islands. This is such a wonderful country to explore. Some more interesting art here on the electricity boxes. Look there, glass of wine. Stumbled across another interesting building here. Let's go and investigate. Yeah, some colorful bags and luggage for sale here as well. A little bit of a discount. I suspect many of these prices will be cheaper than during the high season, because this is not high tourist season at the moment. And in fact, that is one of the reasons why I decided to come here outside of a tourist season, because it's a little bit more affordable for backpackers, for solo travelers. Anyways, enough about that. Look at this beautiful structure here. Look at all the detail, the carvings there, and a pop of color here as well. This looks to be a very nice square. My goodness, there we go. An incredible building. I have to say, this one here looks older and it's got more character. And that's the name of a church. I'm not even gonna attempt pronouncing it. Or shall I have a go? Theotokos Gorgopikous. Let me know how I've done. I suspect I won't be able to go in and film. I don't think the camera will be welcomed, might be frowned upon. So I'm just admiring it here from the outside. Yeah, what a magnificent structure. Look at the detail, look at the carvings. Suppose each carving tells its own story. And there are more things to see on the square here itself, including many Greek flags. And a statue over there. Yeah, I said that small church was probably more impressive, but check this out. I'll show you the flags and then I'll turn to the structure here. How about that? Look at the colorful depictions there. Is this Athens Cathedral? The Annunciation of the Virgin Mary, 1842. I suppose nowadays it's a museum. Yes, Metropolitan Cathedral of Athens. And yes, I am not properly dressed, certainly for church. Sometimes it is good to get the map out. You can see there's a cathedral. What a beautiful sight. Yeah, so we got Monastiraki, where we started the vlog, in this direction. Or we can go to Syntagma, which is where the parliament is, in that direction. I think my preference for now is to go to Syntagma, and we can always go back to Monastiraki. Yeah, check these Athens taxis. And in fact, let's go to that street there, because that looks a lot busier. Yeah, that looks to be a hub of commercial activity over there. Now we're hitting the suit shops and the shoe shops. Yes, this is Athens in the 21st century, with some lights and TV screens, advertisements, and I guess also more traditional shops, flower stalls. You've got the breads here. Kuruli?
Kuluri.
Kuluri.
Grek Kuluri.
Grey Kuluri. Can I have original? Yes.
Original.
One please, yes, yeah.
Okay, boss.
Evcharisto.
Chocolate, cheese.
No, original, yes, yeah, I'll try.
Original.
I'll try for my YouTube, you see.
Okay.
And here we go, it's 80 cents here on the street. It's like a donut bread. Looks like a donut.
Normal Kuluri.
Normal Kuluri. Ah,
Kuluri Selaniki.
okay, from Thessaloniki.
Selaniki.
Ah, okay. Ah, Evcharisto, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Here we go, sesame seeds as well. No.
€1 baby food. No, please.
No.
Asta το λόγο φύγε από εκεί. Φύγε από εκεί. Έλα πάνω.
Keep the change. It's my first time Kuluri, huh?
Okay.
This is traditional Athenian food. You see your Kuluri. Anyway, cheers to Athens. It tastes like bread. Because it is bread.
Athena.
Very nice, huh?
Very nice.
It's got the sesame seeds.
Very good. Normal.
Normal, yes. Yeah. I'll be honest, it just tastes like normal bread, but we are in Greece and I have to try the Kuluri. I think the shape is better.
Kuluri, good.
And you also have, you've got the sugar, you've got sugar ones.
Sorry. Donuts, lukuma.
Oh yeah, that's the donuts. Okay, that's not
Donuts,
Kulura.
lukuma.
And different Kuluri here.
Inside chocolate.
Ah, so the Kuluri, they come in different forms, like the
Inside
chocolate,
cheese.
cheese,
Inside olive.
olive. Oh wow,
Inside tomato olive.
tomato.
Cheese no inside.
Okay, so lots of different types of Kuluri.
Greg Jimmy Star.
And the cranberry there.
Cranberry.
Nice, very good. Yeah, so lots of variety in Kuluri, in Athens.
It's Kuluri.
Evcharisto, sir. Thank you so
you.
much. All the best, huh? Thank you. Right after that carb kick, let's continue our walk here in the city. Now there's a lot of people here. There's this prime shopping territory and a real mix of establishments as well. Look there, Marks and Spencer. Bit of a British touch here. More shoe shops and Kuluri shops. Right, let me just make a quick phone call here to YouTube. Hello YouTube. Please can I get more subscribers? Yeah, you really do have an exclusive edge here in this part of the city. Fresh organic cosmetics. And there's a bridal shop. There's other more impressive brands here. Yes, the la-di-da side of Athens. Yes, we're approaching Syntagma, which is where the Parliament building is, but it's also a very crucial transport artery of the city. Lots of different metro lines, they intersect at Syntagma. So that is probably where I also need to go if I want to get to the airport, to my next destination here in Greece. Anyway, it's just more of the shops here. They sell a lot of shoes in the city, I've noticed that. I just love these trees here in a major shopping area. It's a really cool touch. Display in the window caught my eye. Various fashion related items, and look there, clothing done properly back in the day. Yes, approaching Syntagma Square there, I can see lots of Greek flags. The Greeks showing their patriotism. And not surprisingly, there's a police presence here as well. You can see the Parliament building at Syntagma right in front there. So fair to say it's a very important building in this part of the world. Now there we go, the X95, that is the airport bus back to the airport, so that's useful to know. And it also departs here from Syntagma Square. Yeah, lots of people crossing there. It's not exactly Shibuya crossing in Tokyo, but there's still a lot of people here in the city. Lots of people and pigeons here at Syntagma Square. There's a nice water display and some monuments. It's very peaceful at the moment, but I believe some demonstrations have also happened here over the years. It can be quite a tricky place to negotiate if you're in Athens and if there is political turmoil. Anyways, we are fine for now, I suppose. I bought myself an unknown soft drink here in Athens. It was €1.30. In other parts of the city you might pay €1.50. And so it was actually a little bit cheaper here at Syntagma Square, which I find a bit surprising, but there we go. The fountain springing to life. Nice to have a peaceful sound here in a busy part of the city. So what do you think of Athens? Let me know in the comments. And also, if you haven't done it yet, please press the like and subscribe buttons. It really helps me out. Yes, I can take the X95 bus, or I can take the metro to the airport. That costs €9. So whatever the bus is, that will determine whether I take the bus or the metro. All right, I was at the tourist information office and they demystified the cost of the airport bus. It's €5.50. I think I will definitely take that tomorrow. So yes, I'm going to another location here in Greece and I can't wait. It is another place I've been to before in 2015. I'm very much looking forward to my visit there. And the number one priority is to relax. Maybe I'll make a vlog or two. In fact, that is almost certain. But I'm not sure how much I'd be running around like I usually do. Making these vlogs can be hard work. Yeah, here you can see another shot of a parliament and the guards in front there. I believe there's a changing of a guard every hour or so. Oh, there's some sort of memorial here. Not sure, let me know in the comments. I believe there's a nice park behind here, which I'm keen to see. And yeah, wow, this is a very imposing hotel by the looks of it. Grande Bretagne, so Great Britain. Check the helmet there of the Greek warriors. And some Greek writing. Passing some museum shops here next to the Parliament. Oh, the windows are cracked. Is that on purpose or is that art? I don't know. Is it 1932 mentioned there? Maybe, yeah, flowers of history I was going to say. So you can come and look at the flowers and learn about the history here. All right, I think here's an entrance to the gardens. You can see the European route of historic gardens. No entrance fee by the looks of it. Yeah, let's check out the gardens here in Athens, behind the presidential office. I think I'm only going to spend a little bit of time here in the garden because I want to get to the temple of Olympian Zeus, which is in another part of the city, not far from here. But let's have a quick stroll and have a touch of peace and tranquility. Nice to listen to the birds and the traffic, I guess. Right, here we go. Roman mosaic. These mosaic floors were discovered during the construction of a garden in the 19th century. They consist, I guess, of the remains of a villa of a Roman period, 5th century AD. The gardener incorporated these floors into the design of a garden, creating a space for the palace's banquets. Right. And more history there, which you can go and read in your own time. Yes, this is the Roman mosaic. I guess more detail at the bottom there. Yeah, beautiful spring flowers and nice seating areas. Ah, yes, look at that. Look at the flowers in the road there. And a nice beautiful little stream here. It's amazing to think the hustle and bustle of a city is just one street, one block in that direction. And you can come here for a bit of peace and quiet. And a fair few citrus fruits as well. Yeah, if I lived in Athens, I would be minded to come and stroll here quite regularly. And there's another stream with another little feature there. Look, it almost looks like the stone bridge, the arch bridge there in Mostar, don't you think? Stari Most. And the water there flowing in that direction. Just listen to the water. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, we have a few more sights to see, places to explore. Let's go back to the city. There's a little cafe here as well on the way out. So come and have a coffee here after you're strolling the garden. How lovely. And then you hit the city again. If you ever needed proof why the cats rule the city, look at this. This one made some of these ancient pieces of rubble its home. And look there, these columns, they are pretty old, and now they add a wonderful touch here to the garden. Do you like living here in ancient Greece? Yeah, I thought so. Thank you, National Garden. That was short but sweet. I see you open daily until sunset, so that's useful for others to know. Nice experience. Right, we need to go in that direction. So saying goodbye to the Parliament building again. There's a few more people here. Oh wow, so it is the changing of a guard. Maybe we can just go and have a quick peek here. Yes, indeed. There they are. Wow, what a nice bonus there. I'd love to say I timed it perfectly well. We were just lucky. Anyways, onwards and upwards. A few market stalls as well. Street vendors. And they got, yeah, some sunglasses, fridge magnets, usual stuff. Got these caps. And wow, okay, is this also part of the gardens? This is another entrance. Look how colourful this looks. Oh my goodness. I really should have entered from this side, I think. Look at the trees there, look at the symmetry. Brilliant. You've got a sundial there, and just look at the red flowers here. Magnificent. This is where we are at the moment, and that's where we entered on the other side. An absolutely ginormous park here in Athens. Now I can absolutely say with 100% certainty that I would come here quite a lot if I lived in Athens. Spend some time here. Watch these flowers, they really are very striking. So much variety in Athens, places to experience. It's not just buildings and restaurants and cafes, but there are lots of parks, green spaces. I think this city has got it right, and by that I mean they've got the balance spot on. You need to have a living, breathing city. You need to have a city with some excitement. And what really gives Athens the edge over other destinations is its traffic. I mean, its history, all the historical sites. And we are just on our way now to go and admire more. Righty, this next street is Vasilisis Olgas. I have navigated this well. Yes, I can't read Greek, but the name is listed there. Looks to be a determined figure there on a horse. Fighting for peace, fighting for democracy. Ah yes, you can see the Acropolis again over there. We've got Hadrian's Arch behind the tree here. And then we have a temple of Olympian Zeus. Yeah, the storybook opening. Look at Hadrian's Arch here. Magnificent. A lot of people taking photos here. No one reading the information. This triumphal arch made of Pentelic marble lies on an ancient street that led from the old city of Athens to the new section built by Hadrian. It was constructed by the Athenians in AD 131 to 132 in honor of their benefactor emperor. Monument, which is 18 meters high and 13 meters wide, is in the Corinthian order, and you can read more about the specifics there. But yes, what an impressive structure. Even the remains, you can genuinely feel the history here. And then of course on this side the history doesn't stop. Of course you have the temple of Olympian Zeus. I think there's an entrance 200 meters away, but to be honest, the view here already is pretty good. Get a shot. Some parts are being restored, which is a bit of a double-edged sword for us. Obviously future tourists will benefit from that restoration. For us now it might be a bit of an eyesore, but at least we've got some columns over there. They look absolutely brilliant. Yeah, there's so much history in this part of the world and it's impossible to cover everything in a single vlog, but I hope this at least gave you an idea of a city and what to expect. Yeah, I've noticed Coffee Island here in Greece, in Athens. I think I'm gonna test it out, see what their cappuccino's like. There's my cappuccino. You can see no coffee, no working. And I also got this chocolate here, milk chocolate with almonds. And in total it was €3.70. Cheers to Athens. Top class. Alright, time to try this very intriguing looking chocolate. There we go, that's the outside. You can see the almonds over there. There it goes. Very sweet, but very smooth. It goes down very well. The nut is not overpowering. In fact, it complements the sweet of the chocolate very well. I like this chocolate a lot. Eon milk chocolate with almonds. So I'm going to walk back to my hotel through a different part of the city and show you a bit of Athens off a beaten track. Let's go through here. So just to orientate yourself again, there's Monastiraki, and just one more shot there of the Acropolis hill. Absolutely magnificent. So this is, I guess, a shortcut to my hotel. It's about 20 minutes from here, and I've noticed there's quite a lot of art in this part of the city. I can't remember Athens having so much art on my previous visit, but then again, that is 17 years ago. Certainly there's a lot of graffiti as well, but some absolutely wonderful murals and sketches. Just look at this expressive face here. Someone looking over a wall or something. And yeah, wonder who that is. Yeah, a lot of shops have actually closed, so they don't work late here in Athens. There's more to life than work. And in fact, let me tell you an interesting story. When I arrived here at the airport, the immigration queue was absolutely out of this world. It was comically large, and I waited for about an hour in the queue. There must have been like 600-700 people, and there were only 2 immigration officers on duty. As I approached the end of the line though, a third immigration officer arrived. He was dressed in a motorcycle jacket, and he casually walked to his station. He was very casual, nonchalant almost, and he just turned on his computer, had a bit of a stretch, and then called the people forward. I guess that tells you a lot about the Athenians, the Greeks in general, their attitude to life. No hurry, no worry. A more interesting street art here, and some scribbles on this side. Yes, Athens, a city of great variety in terms of architecture, sites, and also art. All across the city you have these supermarkets, these small convenience stores. I've not yet seen a big supermarket in my area, or in the more touristy bits for that matter. So I guess many people must shop at those convenience stores. And wow, here's some interesting tourist artifacts. You can see here the narrow streets, cars trying to squeeze in, various different restaurants, and gosh, the graffiti here, I think they're taking it maybe a little bit too far. Not sure if this is needed, to be honest. Yeah, but I suppose if you do have a message for the system, why keep quiet? Passing a fruit market here, lots of fresh fruits. And you've got a hair salon there, and clothes shop. There's a mobile shop. And you still have a yellow taxis here. Yeah. Yo. Guess we're having a good time, huh? It looks like some warehouse. I always say it's very interesting to explore cities away from the touristy areas. You get a different perspective on the city life. In many ways, you see the real city at play. Someone declaring their love here for Jessica. Happy Valentine. J and S. Look at this bus stop here, hidden behind the citrus trees. And more art, more graffiti here. Onwards and upwards. Mythos. That's the name of a dog that we had when I grew up. Yeah, we're off a beaten track, and I guess it's not the most aesthetically pleasing part of a city. Yeah, and you don't come here for the aesthetics, you come here for people watching and observing daily life. Another metro station here. Metaxorgiou. Not sure how to pronounce that. You can see people cramming the bus there. Wow. That bus is in a bit of trouble if you ask me. Too many people. And yeah, just look at this interesting building here. Residential block. Look at the way they've designed it. The zigzag shape there. Yeah, not far from my hotel at all now. And it's close to Larissa's station. I've also heard it called Larissa station. Yeah, very important transport hub, because that's where the station, the main railway station is, I believe. In fact, let me just make a quick phone call to YouTube. Hello YouTube, please can I get more subscribers and more views? Okay, you say I should just keep on going. Thank you very much. Alright everyone, let me give you a tour of my hotel room here in Athens. 140 euros for 3 nights, and this is what you get. This is the bed. I've got a little drawer there and a mirror. There's a nice painting on the wall. I've got a wardrobe over here. Let's open that up. You can see there's some hangers. There's an extra pillow at the top and a safety box in here. Here's the bathroom, pretty standard stuff. Wash basin, toilet, and there's the shower. We've got a TV and some aircon. And how wonderful is this? They've got some basic Greek here on the wall. It's all Greek to me. Learn common Greek phrases. Good morning, kalimera. Good evening, kalispera. Check this old school telephone. This is maybe the most interesting feature of a room. And it works. There's a little bar fridge here, which I could plug in if I need to, but I didn't. And I want to show you the view here from the balcony. That is pretty good, isn't it? You can see the ocean, you can see the mountains, you can see the clouds. And if we do look a little bit down, you can see the beautiful flowers, beautiful trees. And of course the traffic. And yeah, a couple of seats here on the balcony as well, in case I needed to have a bit of a sunset view, which I think I might do tonight. I paid 140 euros for 3 nights here in Athens. I think that is great value. Alright, I think it's time for a bit of a breather. Time for me to relax a bit before I continue my adventures here in Greece. I hope you enjoyed our tour of Athens. If you haven't done it yet, please press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment for me in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. Don't forget to share this video with friends and family as well, and hit the notifications bell so that you know when I post new videos. For now, I just want to say again, thanks for watching my videos. I'm going to see you in the next one. Cheers, take it easy.